Tell me about your greatest weakness. Oh, I don't have any. I'm a perfectionist. I'm a total workaholic. I have too many weaknesses to count. Oh dear. If you are getting ready for a job interview, it is highly likely you will be asked to tell the recruiter about your greatest weakness. Stay tuned to learn how to answer one of the toughest questions asked during job interviews without taking yourself out of the running. For the best job search and career advice, please hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Kelly, a career coach and professional development specialist. I've spent the last 2 decades mentoring job seekers through the application process. Today, I'm going to give you some insight into how to respond in a job interview when you are asked to tell the hiring manager about your greatest weakness. I've worked with thousands of job seekers, and the advice I'm going to give you today has helped them formulate answers to this and many other job interview questions. Before we get started, I'd like to hear from you. Do you feel prepared to answer this question? How have you responded to the weaknesses question in past interviews? Do you think your answer hurt your chances? Please comment below and tell me how you've typically responded to this question and whether you think you might answer differently in the future after watching this video. When you are asked by an interview to tell them about your biggest weakness, here are a few tips. Don't give your biggest weakness. Maybe your biggest weakness is that you argue too much with your spouse. Well, unless your spouse works at the organization where you're interviewing, there shouldn't be any chance that this will impede your job performance. Ideally, you should think about how you will answer this along with several other questions before you're actually sitting in the interview. During your pre-interview preparations, it may be helpful to brainstorm some of your weaknesses. Now, don't take in this list and offer it to the interviews. This brainstorming session is for only you. But once you have a few ideas written down, think about which ones would apply to the job you're being considered for. This is particularly important because you must read the job description. It's important to know what the job description calls for so you don't mention one of the job requirements as being your weakness. If the job description states you need to work collaboratively with a sales team, you cannot say your biggest weakness is that you don't work well with others. Say that and the recruiter may stop the interview right then and there and send you on your way. It is better to select a weakness that can be explained as it pertains to a specific situation. Explain a weakness in relation to a situation. For instance, you could specify that you were uncomfortable speaking in front of large groups. Now, if you're a public relations person who is expected to give daily press briefings, this is a problem. But if the position doesn't require you to speak publicly much or at all, then it's a non-issue. At the same time, you want to make sure you take your weakness and demonstrate you have worked to improve it. I once worked with a scientist who said she feared public speaking. Now, she was particularly scared of public speaking because English was not her first language, and when she got flustered, she would stumble over her words. Now, as a scientist, she worked in a lab, so there was little need for her to speak to anyone other than her research team. However, she wanted to improve her confidence speaking in front of strangers, so she joined Toastmasters. After several years of Toastmasters, her confidence had improved so much that she began presenting her research regularly at conferences. Not only had she improved her weakness, but she had results to show for it. Showcase the new and improved results. That's what you want to do with your weakness. Explain how you've worked on it and what you've accomplished as a result. Whatever you choose to mention as your weakness, it is best to show that you are self-aware and have the emotional intelligence to work towards improvement. When I'm asked this question, I often mention that I used to struggle with delegating to subordinates. After years of taking the attitude of, I just don't trust anyone to do the job, so I'll do it myself, I realized I just had too much on my plate and put better processes in place. Now I have specific people in my organization that complete particular tasks. There are timelines and checklists in place to ensure everything is completed on time and according to the necessary standards. As a result, I have a great team, I have more free time, and I can accomplish more without overextending myself. One more thing to note, don't try any of those fake weakness statements at the start of this video. Saying you're a perfectionist or a workaholic indicates you are trying to sell a strength as a weakness. Ultimately, they aren't, and no one can say they don't have any weaknesses, so please don't even try. I hope these tips help you next time you have a job interview. Just remember to practice your canned responses a few times in advance of the interview, and you should be fine. If you would like some more information about how to prepare for job interviews, along with a list of the most commonly asked interview questions, there's a link to an interview guide I've written in the description box below. Also, if you're interested in joining a community of job seekers like yourself, I have a Facebook group where I share advice related to all aspects of the job search process and career development. Feel free to join the Facebook group using the link below as well. If you like this video, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.